Chapter 8, 8 Days. They didn't see Angelo for a week. Another week passed and still no Angelo. Herr Nordstrom, Monsieur Jacques, and Lord Derby became very impatient. Even Michel began to wonder what happened to his friend. With each passing day, however, Signora Pango became more and more cheerful, her meals more and more wonderful. She sang and laughed. She talked to the food. It was like good old times. Finally, when 15 days had passed and Angelo still did not appear, Signora Pango looked particularly jubilant. "Michel," she said, "that Angelo Michel is no fool." Michel looked surprised. "But, Mama, I thought you didn't like Angelo." "Did I say that I like him? I only said he was no fool. Do I have to go around liking everyone who is not a fool?" Michel waited. He knew his mother was leading up to something. "Yes," Signora Pango nodded her head. "Angelo is no fool. He can be smart when it's smart to be smart. He talked big in front of Herr Nordstrom, in front of everyone. I, Angelo, will take you to the cove." But alone again, he realized his foolishness. It is easy to be brave in front of a lot of people. It is much more difficult to be brave alone. So what does Angelo do? He disappears. Without Angelo, it'll be impossible for the men to go to the cove. They all know that now. Angelo came one night and said, "I, Angelo, will take you to the cove. I will arrange everything. I will get the boats. I will watch the tides. I will do everything that has to be done." And the men believe him. They sit back and relax. They wait and they wait and they wait. But no Angelo. No Angelo, no cove. They are helpless without him. Can they get boats? No. Do they know about the tides? No. Do they know anything? No. So they wait and wait for Angelo. Now they are tired of waiting. Even the desire to go to the cove is not so great anymore. They are bored and impatient. They are disgusted with Angelo, with themselves, with the inn, with Capri. Soon the saints will be praised, and they'll be tired of waiting and leave Capri. Then Angelo will come back again. Everything will be as it was before. I tell you, he is no fool, that Angelo. To disappear, to vanish, how wise, how wonderfully wise. Angelo has fixed everything for us. Soon all our troubles will be over. Yes, I am sure of it. Angelo has gone away. Michel stared at his mother. Angelo gone away? Where would he go? Go? Where couldn't he go? He could go anywhere. That Angelo. Who is to tell him where to go or where not to go? There is only one place I am sure he could not go. Where? To heaven. Signora Pango smiled. Today she was almost ready to let Angelo into heaven, but not quite. Perhaps when the men had already gone, she would see. Certainly she was feeling more and more kindly towards Angelo all the time. To go away, that was very smart, very clever, a wonderful way to solve their problems. He was no fool, that Angelo. Signora Pango nodded her head. Yes, Michel, I am sure of it. Angelo has gone away. Michel's eyes flashed. I don't believe it, Mama. Angelo would not run away like a coward. Who said he was a coward? Sometimes it takes a brave man to run away. Sometimes it takes a brave man to run away. Michel repeated the word slowly to himself. Was it true? Had Angelo really gone? Michel knew that Angelo would do anything to help his friends. He would do anything, even act like a coward if he thought it would help. Was his mother right? Had Angelo gone away in order to keep all of them from going to the cove? Michel shrugged his shoulders. Who could tell what Angelo was thinking between his gay words? Had his promise to take them be nothing but a plot to put them off until, as his mother said, the men grew tired of waiting for him and went away? Signora Pango beamed. I have a wonderful idea, Michel, a wonderful idea. Soon the men will leave. Every day they grow more and more impatient. And once they have gone, Angelo will be back. Then we will have a celebration. Michel, we will have a grand dinner. We will have a grand dinner for Angelo. What shall we have? For the first time in in his life, Michelle was not interested in food. I don't know, Mama, he answered dully. I don't know. Fish? Senora Pango looked thoughtfully, thinking of her best recipes. No, not fish. One does not have fish as a special treat for a fisherman. Chicken, perhaps, roast chicken. Does Angelo like chicken? Yes, very much, the answer came from the end of the room. Michelle and his mother looked toward the doorway. Angelo! Michelle was delighted. Senor Pango was furious. Angelo! Michelle hurried towards him. Angelo, where have you been? Been? I've been busy. What do you think? The boy asked me where I've been. I've been getting boats, studying tides, making plans. Where have I been? Where do you think I've been? No place. Only what? Angelo's deep voice filled the end. Immediately, everyone came running. Herr Nordstrom, Lord Derby, Monsieur Jacques, Signor Pango, Angelo, Angelo, Angelo. They crowded around him. They asked him 1,000 questions. Only Michelle remained silent. He knew Angelo too well. He knew Angelo could not be hurried. Angelo sat down in a big chair in front of the fireplace. He looked very serious. I have 3 fishing boats, he said, my own and 2 others. If anything happens to them, I am responsible. Don't worry about that, Herr Nordstrom made a grand gesture with his hand. I will pay if something happens to them. And if something happens to you? The words seemed to hang in the air. Everyone was silent. The words filled the air, filled the minds of men, of Michelle, of Senor Pango. There was no room for any other thoughts. Finally, Herr Nordstrom stood up, took his wallet out of his pocket, and handed some money to Senora Pango. Here, he said, if I do not come back, give this money to the 2 fishermen. Senora Pango put his hands behind him. I will not touch the money, she said. It is wrong. The whole thing is wrong. I will have nothing to do with it. Herr Nordstrom walked over to the mantel, picked up a small jar. See, he said, I am putting the money in here. Surely, if I do not come back, you will see that the fishermen get it. Senora Pango would not look at Herr Nordstrom. She stared straight ahead at the end of the room. If you do not come back, she said slowly, I'll tell the fishermen that the money is here. They can come and get it, but I will not touch it. I will not touch it. You think your money can buy anything, anything. And she began to cry. Senor Pango tried to change the subject. He looked at Angelo. Tell us, Angelo, how did you get the other 2 boats? How? I'll tell you how. I have 2 brothers. Giovanni and Antonio, they promised to lend me their boats some Sunday when they're not fishing. What did you tell them, Angelo? Angelo shrugged his shoulders. I did not have to tell them much. Everyone on Capri knows how it is with the tourists. They must be treated like infants, like bambinos. If they want the moon, someone must climb up a ladder at night and get it for them. If it rains, someone must turn it off. If the ocean is too cold, we can expect to heat it. A shield must be made for the sun if it shines too brightly. When a tourist buys a ticket, he thinks he also buys a piece of heaven. It is not so, Senor Pango. Senor Pango looked at the 3 guests out of the corner of his eyes, then quickly nodded his head at Angelo, hoping no one else noticed. So Angelo went on. I did not have to tell my brothers too much. They were quick to understand. I told them you're having your troubles, Senor Pango. I told them your 3 guests wanted to be taken on a little trip in some fishing boats. You know how it is. I said to my 2 brothers, the tourists, they are a bit queer, not quite right in the head. They have crazy ideas. La la la, Senora Pango's voice carried across the room. At last, Angelo had told the truth about something. This is a day to remember. Not quite right in the head. Crazy ideas. It is truth, Angelo. You are smarter than I thought. Lord Derby, however, was not pleased. Well, he said, well, was that necessary, Angelo? I'm not sure I like all this. To be called queer, not quite right in the head, that is going too far, much too far. Had I told them the real truth, Angelo answered, they would not have thought you queer. They would have thought you insane. Would you have liked that better? All right, all right. Lord Derby blew on his mustache. Let us forget about it. What has been said has been said. What has been done has been done. The important thing now is to go to the cove and be finished with it. When do we go, Angelo? At noon, a week from Sunday. At noon? On Sunday? Everyone looked startled. Even Michelle could not keep silent. In the middle of the day, when everyone can see us, Angelo? Angelo smiled. The safest place for a fly is on top of the fly swatter. The safest place for a secret is out in the open. If we sneaked down to the boats early in the morning, someone would be sure to see us. If someone saw us, we would wonder what we are doing. And you can be sure we would wonder out loud. Then buzz, buzz, buzz. In 5 minutes, the whole town would know about it. In 10 minutes, every man, woman, and child would be down at the harbor to look at us. Every move we make would be watched. 1,000 questions would be asked. But, Angelo went on, if we go down to the boats in the middle of the day, if we talk and laugh and make a big commotion, who will notice us? Who will be interested? Who will care? Who will pay attention to us? He looked at Senora Pango. If you will lend us a lunch basket, I think we can hide our secret in it. Carrying the basket, we will be 6 stupidios off for the day, nothing more. Senora Pango nodded. All right, Angelo, I will lend you my basket, and I will fill it for you, too. Surely you will not want to be carrying an empty basket. Angelo smiled. You are right, Senora Pango. Our secret would rattle around in an empty basket. It would be sure to attract attention. No, Senora Pango stood up, shook her head. The basket, it cannot be empty. That would never do. I will fill it for you, Angelo. I will fill it full of rocks. Angelo stood up and made a deep bow. If you fix the rocks, Senora Pango, they will be delicious, I'm sure. And just think, you have 8 days to cook them. 8 days? Suddenly Michelle felt very queer. 8 days. In 8 days his life was going to be different. No matter what they found or didn't find in the cove, he knew that in some way his life on Capri would never be quite the same. Was his mother right? Was it insane to go? Was it ridiculous to give up their safe, pleasant life for this strange, doubtful adventure? He looked around the room. Of the 6 who were going, how many would still be alive 8 days from now? Would they be shot down, drowned, frozen to death, eaten alive, frightened, ill? Would they live to tell what happened? 8 days. 8 days. Angelo's voice filled the room. Just 8 days, Signora. That is not much time. There is a great deal to do. Good day. And Angelo went out.